Hey everyone, Matron here bringing you another StarCraft II commentary. This time our game is between seleCT, spawning as the red Terran, and SLush, spawning as the blue Zerg. The map is Lost Temple, and this is a round 7 of the losers bracket, best of 3 series in MLG DC. So these players will be trying to move on to the next round of the losers bracket where they'll take on Liquid Tyler, aka Noni. Both these players were sent to the losers bracket relatively early in this tournament. SLush was beaten by Druby, and seleCT was beaten by Noni. Since they've made it to the losers bracket, both players doing a ton of damage. SLush is knocked out In Control, Greetorb, and Natagast. seleCT is knocked off LZ Gamer, TT1, and QXC. So now these two powerhouses meeting up, hoping to be able to move on and face Noni. seleCT, the number 1 rated player in the North American servers. Blizzard's top 200 came out last week. SLush, I think, is the top rated Zerg in that list as well. We'll see how the TVZ of seleCT is able to hold up against SLush here. With not many Zerg players in this tournament, we don't get a lot of practice for our Terran and Protoss players against Zerg. So SLush may have the advantage here as he's going to play more Terran players. He might be more used to this matchup. SLush did send this Overlord, and if we look, he had the Overlord peel off at the last second so that seleCT was not able to see the Overlord move in from this angle. So seleCT is still sending his scout all around the map here. Finally, this Overlord's going to come in, and it's going to be able to be seen by seleCT. So seleCT was going to be slightly delayed getting that SCV over to the natural and to the base of SLush here. So SLush, if he chooses, could have thrown down a fast expand. It looks like he's going to do just that. And that's not going to be able to be blocked by the SCV. Just 1 second there. So we saw that Overlord come in and peel off at the last second so that seleCT was not able to see it. And that 1 second there kept that SCV away from the natural so that he was able to throw it up in time. This spawning pool has finished for SLush. If we throw up the production tab, it looks like seleCT has opened with a barracks, no marine yet, and he's throwing a reactor down onto that barracks, also putting up a factory, so we are going to see some Hellion harass from seleCT. This SCV going in, just trying to do its worst, doing all sorts of scouting here, going to see that Roach Warren. So SLush is seeing this factory go down. A good response with the Roach Warren. Roaches, especially with the new upgraded range in patch 1.1.2, are going to be a great counter to these Hellions. The Queen comes out, we'll get an inject here, and that Queen will make her way down to the natural. We see the switch coming very quickly here. The factory just finishes. It's great timing here by seleCT, landing that factory as soon as possible. I'm going to pump out these 2 Hellions. He does have this SCV at the watchtower. It looks like 4 roaches are now being created by SLush. No second queen yet. He has side-capped himself a little bit. He's going to have to start working on some overlords. And the 2 Hellions finish for seleCT, and they're going to come out and see what they can do against this natural. No drones are being transferred to the natural yet, so a smart move by SLush. He knows that this natural is more susceptible to this harass by the Hellion, so he's not going to push the drones down here yet. He's keeping all of his drones in his main for now. If you look at the drone count, only 16 drones. He did have to throw up that natural, the Roach Warren, and the spawning pool very quickly, and also got up those roaches to defend against the Hellions. So he's now going to send out these roaches, see if he can do any sort of early damage to seleCT. seleCT only has these 4 Hellions on the field, plus 1 Marine. Hellions do bonus damage versus light. These roaches are armored, so they're not going to do a lot of damage versus these roaches. Roaches just going to spit and try to take out this 1 Marine here. Looks like they're going to try to do damage to this bunker as well. seleCT was very smart to throw up this bunker in defense, as he did see these roaches move out with this SCV on the tower here. Roach is just doing more damage, trying to fend off these Hellions. One good thing that SLush is doing here is he's keeping those Hellions away from his natural. The Hellions are forced to try to do their best to do a little bit of damage against these roaches, and they're not going to be able to do what seleCT wanted them to do, and that's take out drones out of that natural from SLush. So SLush is just spitting here. We have a SCV just continuously repairing the supply depot, and it looks like seleCT now getting out a starport. He's going to pick up these medevac, or these Hellions, the medevac, and perhaps drop them in the main of SLush. The Queen's good position here. He's going to meet these Hellions as soon as they come down. She's going to go for the medevac first, it looks like. Hellions are going to be able to come in here. They're going to get 2 kills there before they're picked up. Roach's good positioning there by SLush. And again, he looks like he has retreated from this front door. If we look at the units lost tab, pretty even here, 250 to 200. Now with the income tab, SLush has rallied ahead, now 30 workers to 25 for seleCT. So really taking advantage of these 2 bases now. He was able to drone up a little bit with that attack of the roaches on the front door of seleCT. seleCT now going to abandon the Hellion play and throw up a tech lab, perhaps go for tanks here for a little bit of map control in the middle. Very easy to get tanks positioned at these watchtowers and control the map. Or he could be going for a little bit of Thor play against any sort of mutas that we may see. Looks like down goes one more probe. These Hellions, very few kills, 2, 1, and another one. Did not catch how many that may have had, but very few drone kills. The Hellions went down early and they just were not as effective. Now seleCT spent 400 minerals on Hellions. He had to get out that medevac, which may be used later on, but there's all sorts of costs there. Now seleCT doing a combine harass with medevacs as well as a Banshee here. The Banshee has 2 kills right now, 3 kills. These Hellions are being dropped, so this combine harass, some great pickups there by seleCT. These Hellions are very low health. Banshee's on 8 kills, no anti-air for SLush here. He's moving most of his drones down to his natural. These Hellions are being dropped down here, and they're going to be picked up at the last second. A drone takes down those Hellions, and the roaches come in and finish them off. So it's just this medevac now flying around, and this Banshee going to be working on this lair. I don't necessarily agree with that. He should possibly move down into the natural here. There are no queens on the board, so if this Banshee could come down, he could get a ton more drone kills. Already 10 kills, so that Banshee really paid for itself there. See another Hellion come out by seleCT. So now looks like we're going to have an Octodrop in the base of SLush possibly. Now we did have that Spire finish. And looks like we have these mutas coming out, 5 mutas at the start here, along with 5 roaches, which are going to be mostly used for defense in the main here. Mutas coming out, they're going to hop on this Octodrop before all the Marines are able to come out. Roaches are going to come in to assist, and all the Marines picked up very quickly by that medevac. The Thor is now going to come out, as right before. The Thor is going to be great against these mutalisks. Looks like tanks also coming out, so seleCT is going for potpourri, all sorts of different units here. He's got a Thor out, he went Hellions, Banshee, some Marines, and now the tank coming out. No siege tank yet. As we see good Overlord positioning by SLush here. He's got the Overlord in the Super Hacks position here. He's going to be able to see everything seleCT does. seleCT's not going to have view on this Overlord in the high position. These roaches just sort of protecting this tower, making sure that they know whenever seleCT's going to move out. seleCT coming down with a Thor drop, as well as this Hero Banshee with 10 kills so far. As we see if we might get a drop on the natural. SLush is going to be able to see this with this quick Overlord here. If we look at the unit tab, only 3 Mutalisks, so SLush did lose some of those to those Marines and the Thor. As this Thor does land, and it's going to be able to focus down this Queen very quickly. Mutalisks are not going to be able to do much against this Thor. Just the 3 Mutalisks, and the splash damage of the Thor is going to be too much. Looks like the Thor is going to back up so that the roaches are not able to attack it. Again, the Overlord is going to give sight on this high ground, so the roaches are going to be able to spit up here with a new range of 4. More roaches coming out, but really he needs something to deal with this Thor right now. Looks like this Octodrop's coming in to support now 2 medevacs, and all these Marines are going to be able to take down these Mutalisks. The Mutalisks were able to take down that Banshee though, so the Banshee did tons of drone damage. Possibly could have seen some sort of split harass here, but instead it looks like seleCT's going to focus on this Thor. He needs to pick up this Thor as it's very low. He needs to get that back. Maybe get an SCV over here with one of these medevacs. I'm not sure I would engage with this Thor. Mutalisks are going to come in and possibly be able to take out that Thor. Some great pickups by seleCT here. The Thor is just shooting, and every time a Mutalisk gets close, he's going to be able to pick it up with the medevac there. Looks like we have a bunch of banlings coming in for SLush, 14 being created. If you look at the income tab, 46 to 46. seleCT has established this base, has a ton of mules working here. This Thor is finally going to be focused down, 13 health on it, does go down. 2 medevacs moving out here, just the 7 Marines left. And it looks like seleCT is going to move with a more traditional army here. 2 siege tanks, but no siege tech. You wonder why he did not research that. He's got enough money to do so. He now has 3 tanks out on the field. He really needs to get up this siege tech with those tanks, especially if we see any sort of Zergling or Baneling play. You need to kill those Banelings before they can get to this Marine and Marauder ball. Here come the Banelings. They're going to be able to do great damage. Down go half the Marines. Down go all the Marines to those Banelings. The Roaches are going to be able to surround and push down this tank. See, we have a few more rolling Banelings. They do have that speed upgrade. They are rolling along. These Mutalisks are going to be able to take down the medevac there. If we look at the army tab, now 2100 to 800. Again, no siege tech. Now finally being researched. Very big mistake on seleCT's part there. seleCT now throwing up 2 bunkers to try to defend against this push. Got quite a bit of Banelings, Roaches, a few Zerglings, and these Mutalisks. Like to see these Mutalisks try to pull these Marines back and maybe intercept them with the Banelings. Then there's going to be nothing to keep these Mutalisks from doing a ton of damage. Maybe a split attack here on the minerals. Here come all the Banelings, going to wipe out the melee and the Marines Marauders of seleCT. Down goes the first bunker, down goes the second bunker. I'm not even sure that finished. The Roaches are going to have their way in here on the mineral line, going to be able to do so much damage to these SCVs. seleCT forced to pull these SCVs off and up the ramp to the main. The Roaches just going to try to focus down, looks like this remaining SCV, perhaps this missile turret. Roaches are going to focus down this missile turret. SLush is establishing this 3rd base here. The missile turret is down. Mutalisks are going to have free reign on this expansion. seleCT having to pick up this orbital command here. You wonder if he's going to be able to recover only 850 minerals worth of army. He's going to move out with these Marines and Marauders as they stim up. The Roaches need to focus down these Marauders as they do bonus damage against the armored Roaches. Looks like SLush is going to pull back here and try to macro up a little bit more. He does have the advantage. I try to push here. Maybe a bit of muta harass on some of these add-ons. seleCT now moving back with his 2nd orbital command into his natural here again. If you look at the income tab, seleCT still has the advantage in workers, 48 to 41 for SLush. SLush did establish this 3rd base though, so as he gets that up and working, he is going to be able to take quite the advantage when it comes to income, and possibly mass up much faster than seleCT. seleCT coming in with these 2 medevacs and the Marine Marauder ball again. Abandoning the tanks a little bit. Just 1 tank on the field, though he has finished that siege tech. So if he can take this choke position right here and sort of keep SLush bottled up into his base, he may be able to recover a little bit here. He possibly needs to expand to this gold expansion. Doesn't want to get too far behind the Zerg. So we do see an encounter here. These Banelings are going to move in and try to take down these Marines. Again, the Marines are the only thing right now on the field that can attack these Mutalisks. No more Thors coming out for seleCT. He's abandoned the Thors entirely. Seemed like he just used that 1 Thor for the harass on SLush's natural there, and now just going for mostly tanks. SLush with a strong